The reason that I decided to do the timber trail this year is because historically it's been so rough to put together because of fires and closures. And it looked like this is the year that it might have been rideable. It's just such a hard trail to maintain. And with these fires going on, I don't know. It's like, will it ever be rideable, you know?
I've been thinking about this route for years. This route has the character of what I look for in a bikepacking route. A lot of single track, challenging, remote. I think it's really going to push my limits. Staying true to the route and finishing feels important to me. Also, being located in the heart of the Pacific Northwest makes it feel even more personal. But the reasons it's taken me so long to get here, now, may be the same reasons that I might fail.
Look at that, leading the pack. He's already in first place.
I'm in first place. I'm beating Parker. I'm gonna take a wrong turn here. I go right?
The Oregon Timber Trail is a 700-mile route traversing the entire length of the state.
Really, Brian, you're pushing up this?
Yeah, pushing already.
What's up, Carolyn?
It's special in that it connects some of Oregon's most premier and remote single-track mountain bike trails. The route's divided into 4 tiers: the Fremont Tier, Willamette Tier, Deschutes Tier, and the Hood Tier. It feels like this route doesn't get the attention it deserves. And maybe that's because for the past several years, wildfires and a lack of trail maintenance have made it impossible to string the whole route together. Even this year, we aren't starting in California, where the route technically begins. But for me, it's close enough. So I'm here with the Grand Depart to tour the OTT, and it's been a long time coming. The trail starts with a giant climb up Crane Mountain, and we're already pushing our bikes. The temperature's unusually hot, so I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. After some struggling, you get an amazing descent down some single track. And a big thank you to all the people who came out here and did trail maintenance on the timber trail.
We just got to first water stop. A lot of climbing, a lot of walking. Like, it's just like steep.
It's soft too, so it's hard to pedal up a lot of stuff.
All right, we are so excited. We're gonna hit Stair Step Spring. Check it out. Lovely oasis. Yeah. All right, Paul, I'm jumping in. It is 5:12. So we started at 6. We've taken a few kind of longer breaks, but we have not covered that many miles. We're probably somewhere around like 32 something, 33. Super fun, single track. So smooth. I'm at Crooked Creek. So this is the last reliable water stop for the next 20 miles. So I think we're gonna call it here. There's like some flattish spots over here. It's 8 o'clock. I think we're pretty knackered. What do you think, Paul? Good job today, man. That was a big day. Yeah. All right, let's get set up and get some water and clean off. All right, it's 5:20 in the morning. We are hoping to get an earlier start. We've got 20 miles to our next like reliable water supply. How you feeling, Paul?
Oh, just stupendous, really.
Yeah. Well, that makes 2 of us. Woo! Tarmac, we're on Fremont Highway. We'll be on this for about 2.5 miles. Easiest miles of the whole trip. So that just happened.
The crux for day 2 is heading up the Cox Burn area. The section, it's slow going. It's really overgrown, which makes route finding difficult and riding almost impossible.
We are back on. Kind of a tough little section to navigate there. There's that barbed wire fence. Glad that Paul was here to help me lift my bike.
By the middle of day 2, I'm already feeling behind schedule. It's hard to capture the difficulty of this terrain, but the first few days have been astonishingly slow. There's times where it doesn't even feel like you're following a trail.
Okay, we just finished the Cox Creek Trail. It's probably the most overgrown section so far. Now we're on this double track.
For night 2, we'd be aiming for the Chuacan River. And luckily, the descent is nothing short of amazing.
Oh, nice work, Paul. Chuacan River. So let's look at our stats for the day. 46 miles, 6,290 feet of elevation, 14 hours and 21 minutes moving time. All right, so we're at Chuacan River and the Chuacan, and we're here with the Oregon Timber Trail race director, Chip. How's it going, Chip?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful meeting all these crazy riders who have come this way and come this far. So that's, for me, what this route's about, is the people. I hope that we can keep it going enough that a lot of people can experience it over the years. It's kind of tough down here. Trails aren't maintained very well, so but people continue to come back, try it out, even though it's kind of rough.
Well, we appreciate all the work that you're putting into it and meeting us out here, so thanks, Chip. All right, we're just leaving the Chuacan River here and had a nice night hanging out with Chip. It was cool to meet him. It's just cool to see the race director out here meeting riders as they come through here. So the single track here kind of is a mixture of nice and overgrown. So here's kind of a nice section. We've got a nice clear defined trail, but there's other sections where it's overgrown. It's easy to get off route. Kind of been a theme of this first tier. It's like you get really good sections and you get some overgrown sections. And there's a lot of pushing, but this is at least rideable. So I should start riding. All right, we are at Bear Creek. We just re-upped on some water. We've gone about 7.7 miles and climbed about 1,750 feet. So I think we're about halfway done with this climb, and then we'll have a little bit of descending. It's slow going through here. I thought we were gonna have a nice descent, and instead there's a lot of blowdowns and rocks. It's pretty much what this whole trail's been like. Look at that. Oh, Paul.
What a treat.
What a treat. All right, let's do this. All right, we just had a little moment here at Courier Spring. This is an important water stop. It's the last stop before Fredwell Pond, and that's like 35-ish or so miles. So happy to stop here. This water is nice and cool, and it's a neat spring. All right, so we came out here to the Fremont Lookout, though the lookout's over there. We only came here because Paul had to poop.
Yeah, we don't need more climbing over there either.
Yeah, but it actually is really cool, and I'm glad we came up here. Check out that view. All right, we just got to this farmwell pond. And back there, it was pretty rough looking, but we're kind of gonna keep going to assess our situation here. And this one doesn't look so bad. Good job, Paul. You're doing great, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
And been an adventure so far.
Yeah.
For sure.
If we get to Tumult tomorrow, we are still on schedule. We got
Subway,
this.
dude.
Oh my gosh, Subway. It's open till 11 p.m. Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna make some dinner and conk.
What does it say the serving size is? 2.
With our alarm set for 5 a.m., we crawled into bed early and listened to the coyotes howl through the night. Today, we have 2 big climbs, Mount Hager and Yamsey. And given our pace the last few days, we knew it was going to be tough.
All right, we are pushing up Hager Mountain. You can see the sun is starting to rise behind me. You can already feel the heat. It's not even 6 o'clock yet, and it's gonna be a scorcher, I reckon. All right, we have reached the top of Hager Mountain, and so we are beginning the descent. Got some views of some peaks. I think maybe that's Thielsen. It's got the little pointy tip. You won't be able to see it. See the sisters over there. And Chip said that this section has a reputation for being one of the best descents on the entire Oregon Timber Trail.
The descent down Hager was fun for sure, smooth and fast. We made quick work of it. Then, we'd start up the second climb for the day, Yamsey.
Way right here. Oh. Okay, we've been going for about 5 hours. We've climbed 2,700 feet and gone about 15 miles. About 10 o'clock. We're working on the Yamsey climb. Right now it's like pretty gradual, but there's still some sections that...
The climb up Yamsey would prove to be our biggest crux yet. And if I look sweaty and discouraged in this clip, it's because I am. I keep thinking about how we need to average 50 miles a day. And even though we've been going for 10 to 14 hours a day, we're still not covering the mileage we need. It's hard to believe, and it's testing my confidence.
All right, so we're at the Antler campground, and there's a pump behind us, and we have about 1,500 feet of climbing left. Yeah, these clouds don't look too good. Ooh, Yamsey's tough. Every day there's just been a big crux. Yamsey, it's definitely the crux today. So we're just hoping that the descent on the other side of Yamsey and the road leading into Tumult is good, but just don't know. We've been riding for 10 and a half hours. We've ascended 5,700 feet and gone 26 miles. Wow, pretty slow. The thing is, you see how unmaintained this trail is, and it just makes you fear every single bit of this entire trail. Like the descent, I don't know, is it gonna be like this? So slow. Woo! The final push is up Yamsey. Dude, good work. Sick. Brutal. All right, so our goal is to make it to Tumult. We've got like 30 miles we have to cover. I have hope, but it's gonna be close, so yeah, we'll see. But the most important thing right now is that we have a safe descent. I don't want anyone getting wild, getting injured, so we're just gonna chill out and we'll get into Tumult when we get there. All right, we just got off the Yamsey single track section. We've joined this Forest Road 4972. You can hear that thunder behind us. But this road looks great. I hope it stays like just like this all the way into Tumult. That would be incredible. All right, we just pulled up on Jackson Creek. It just started pouring rain.
The forecast had warned of potential thunderstorms, but I hadn't been worried about it. It came on quick. We were thankful that this didn't hit us while we were on the top of Yamsey.
We might filter some water and stand under this tree coverage for a minute. See if this thunderstorm passes. Oh, we got another thunder coming here. I just saw the flash.
The rain eventually got so heavy, we were getting soaked under our dismal tree coverage, so we decided we'd be better off pedaling.
Oh, we're getting soaked!
Our pedaling in the rain only lasted for a few minutes, but there would be longer lasting implications from this thunderstorm that would change our trip. Several new fires would break out across Central Oregon.
All right, update. We escaped the torrential downpour. We're a little bit wet, and so we've got about probably 18 miles to get to Tumult. Oh, welcome to Tumult! Woohoo! Oh, I'm stoked to see that. Oh, this is our first resupply of the trip. I am so excited. Pull a hole in the window, a little rough. Okay, good enough for me. All right, it's about 7 o'clock. Late start today, but that's fine. Should be an easier day. We're just gonna be leaving the town of Tumult here, and we'll be passing by some lakes, hopefully camping next to the river tonight.
So, Tumult sits at the 200-mile mark, and that means over the last 4 days, we did average 50 miles a day. We actually were on schedule. And today's riding, it starts along easy forest roads.
All right, so we just got off the forest road and onto some single track, and we're headed down to Windy Lake. So far here, single track looks smooth and flowy. All right, we just made it to Oldenburg Lake, and it looks pretty fabulous, so I might take a quick dip.
Finally, my mind was at ease, at least for now. And scattered along the smooth, meandering single track were these pristine lakes inviting Paul and I in for a swim. This is what my mind conjured up when I imagined the best parts of the Oregon Timber Trail.
Oh, it's so good! Oh my God! This could get interesting. Oh God! Oh God! Okay. Got it.
When we reached Summit Lake, off to our east, a new fire called the Red Fire had ignited from the lightning storm yesterday. And rumor had it, there were a few other new fires burning, which may be impacting the route, but that's tomorrow's problem.
All right, I think we've left the Fremont Tier and entered the Mosquito Tier. It's pretty bad out here. As I'm walking along this trail, getting eaten up. probably ride this section. I should. Paul stopped back there. He got a bloody nose, so he couldn't breathe through his mouth because he's like choking on his own blood. And so he stopped back there in the mosquito infested trail, and he told me to keep going. So I'm moving slow here. On a trip like this, it can be a lot of those little things, you know, like on top of the long hard days, like bloody noses, mosquitoes, like just small issues start to add up. And it's part of what makes these trips so hard. It's not just the terrain, the elevation, the physicality of it. So I feel for Paul. I could hear he was frustrated. Mosquito pressure is high out here, so we're like out here in the lake filtering in the water. We got our mosquito gear on. Oh boy. Right as we got down there, it just was like swarms. There was like 100 mosquitoes on Paul's back. And then they followed him into the water. Now we're gonna start our descent. This should be a pretty fun descent.
I'd been anticipating riding on the Middle Fork Trail, and it starts out fast. The type of riding that reminded you why you were here. And if you look at the elevation profile, you might think that you'd be cruising all the way into Oakridge. And while it's true you descend a lot, make no mistake, the Middle Fork isn't a gimme. There's some chunky sections and some pedaling.
Oh boy. Gears. Ah.
That didn't go where I wanted to.
Oh, another good day, Paul.
Good job.
Oh. All right, let's see what we did. It says we did 60.55 miles, 5,100 feet of ascent, 7,000 descent. What'd you think of day 5, Paul?
Well, we said it earlier, it definitely was like our easiest day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really that easy at times.
Yeah, like you get some really good miles coming right out of Tumult, so like on the dirt roads, so you're like making progress and it feels good, and it's not like super steep.
I felt like we were cruising.
So overall we did almost 5,000 feet today, but if you look at the profile you'd think we went all downhill. And what do you think about the single track?
The top part of the Middle Fork of the Willamette Trail was pretty cool and definitely not like as punchy and up and down. It was fun. There's like all the rhododendron. They weren't blooming, but it's still like a big like green tunnel. It was a lot different than what we had been riding in previously.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And then riding this was, you know, it didn't come easy. I'll
Right.
say that.
And that single track out by Summit Lake, that was really cool.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and the Suzanne Lake that we went to, that like Windy Lakes, that area was awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, like really chill single track, smooth, and
pretty
like
fun parts in there too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
amazing lakes too, like great swimming lakes. All right, Paul, good work.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, it is day 6. It is 6:35. Our goal is to make it to Oakridge, check out the bike shop, probably get a new step sack for Paul's front. I'm gonna have him check out my shifting. We're gonna resupply and figure out what we're gonna do from Oakridge. But that'll complete the 300. Once we hit Oakridge, we do the OTT 300.
300.
Woo! So we have about, I think, 23 miles left to get down to Oakridge. All right, let's hit it, Paul.
All right, let's do it.
This is what you hope for. All right, headed into Oakridge. We got still quite a ways to go though, like 17 miles. And it's not gonna be all on tarmac. We're about to join back up with the Middle Fork Trail. It's 9:40. Next stop, Oakridge. Made it to Smoke Ridge.
Holy shit, it's
What's
Celia.
up?
Hey!
I didn't think I'd be seeing you. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm trying to catch the bus to Eugene in 10 minutes.
Okay, so you guys haven't really seen Celia yet, but she was on the shuttle that we took to get to the start and was riding the gravel version of the OTT until her rack broke and she had to MacGyver some shit to get out of a jam. Anyway, Paul and I haven't seen her for days, and it made me really happy to see her here. And don't worry, she caught the bus. All right, now back to my problems. We arrive at the Oakridge bike shop, and I notice I have a text message from Chip.
Made it to the bike shop.
I give him a call, and we chat briefly. He advises that given the current fire conditions, it's probably not safe to head up Bunchgrass. So Sebastion, Sarah, Paul, and I, we deliberate and make the decision to get a shuttle, bypassing Bunchgrass and dropping us off at Gold Lake. Booking the shuttle leaves me feeling both relieved and disappointed at the same time. The bushwhack up Bunchgrass was sure to be the crux of the entire route. I was nervous about this section. Now, we'd be skipping it entirely. How could I feel like I did the timber trail if I skipped the hardest part of the entire route? Well, the answer is, I can't.
All right, this is like Sebastian's like 5th plug. What the heck? Yeah. I think I might literally die trying to keep up with Sebastion. So I'm not gonna do that. That dude's an animal. We're dropped off at Gold Lake. Now we're headed up to Waldo Lake, where I think, by all accounts, the mosquitoes are gonna be voracious.
So, a little bit more about Bunchgrass. This would have been a huge climb, like 4,000 plus feet. And due to wildfires in 2022, it's totally overgrown. I bet it would have added an entire day for me. And kudos to the 3 racers who actually made it through Bunchgrass. Justin, Max, and Kyle. Seriously, amazing effort.
Look at this, Waldo Lake casualties. That's a tear there. Look, we got a tear here, tear here. Snags. Snags. All right, we are here at Waldo Lake. We're gonna stay here. There's a campground in about 8 miles, and it's pretty flat, but the terrain's a little bit meh. So it'd probably take us an hour. So we figure we'll call it here.
If you look up Waldo Lake Single Track, you'll quickly discover it has the International Mountain Bike Association, or IMBA, EPIC designation. And these are, and I quote, immersive rides that are technically and physically challenging, beautiful to behold, and worthy of celebration, end quote. The Cedar Creek fire in 2022 has incinerated much of the western shore of Waldo Lake. The burn has left a scar on a once pristine trail, but in my mind, it still remains beautiful and worthy of celebration.
Well, it's been a pleasant morning riding along Waldo Lake. Really nice, cool breeze, smooth single track. There's some burn stuff, and just by and large, super nice.
Leaving Waldo Lake would mark the finish of the Willamette Tier and our entry into the Deschutes Tier. Some dusty single track would lead us to another resupply and a proper lunch.
All right, we just finished having nice lunch at the Cultus Lake Resort. Ran into Garret. That guy's an animal, fully rigid, getting it done. And now we're about to join back on the trail. All right, we left Little Lava Lake, and now we're riding on the Edison Lava Trail. Like, I think this is 99% rideable. Maybe 100 if you're Sebastion. Definitely 100 if you're Sebastion. Oh, that was the worst skid ever. Yeah, that was pretty bad. All right, Paul, good work. So we made it to the Edison Snow Park OHV staging area. We're gonna call it here for a night. I don't know how far we went today, but here's how far. It was good enough. So yeah, there's a flat spot here. Otherwise, we're gonna start climbing up Dynamo, and I don't think we need to do that right now.
All right, we're just checking out Watch Duty, which is this fire app, and it gave me a notification about the pyramid fire, which is right where we're going through. And there's a level 3 evacuation notice in the area, and all of the trails are closed. I don't know, I think tomorrow we'll go into Sisters, but I don't know where we're gonna go from there. Yeah. The reason that I decided to do the timber trail this year is because historically it's been so rough to put together because of fires and closures, and it looked like this is the year that it might have been rideable. And even still, like, it didn't start all the way in California because some of the trail wasn't cleared out, but that's not gonna happen now, and it's just such a hard trail to maintain, and with these fires going on, I don't know.
We're riding up the Dynamo Trail. Our goal is to make it to Sisters. Shouldn't be too much trouble. There's a High Cascades 100 race out here today, so we're hoping we miss that.
We didn't. We hit it at the worst time.
All right, so as we're pedaling up here, and we're about to get to the top of the hill, but with this race, there's people just ripping by. You can see some of these spots are kind of blind.
Really blind. Uphill in the wrong direction.
So we're like standing here waiting because look, there's gonna be more people ripping right here. Hey. Hey.
We'd slowly make progress, pulling off every 30 feet in fear of a head-on collision.
All right, we moved up enough that we could get on this road. It's like this forest road, just to do a little bypass. Look, there's now 300 racers barreling down this hill, telling us there's a race going on this.
I mean, we were kind of participating in a race too, right?
So we got on this road. Turns out the race goes on this road too. First rider I talked to, she's riding along, asked what route we're doing. I say the Oregon Timber Trail 700. Says, oh, I did that back in 2019 before all the fires. Sorry about your luck. That's funny. All right, we're back on Tiddlywinks.
At last, we're no longer riding uphill against traffic in a 300 rider mountain bike race. That felt stressful. And now, we'd ride along the dusty cross-country trails of Bend, familiar terrain for Paul and I.
All right, we're riding along the swampy Dutchman Trail. It's nice and smooth. We have a little bit of climbing here, probably about 1,000 feet. Getting dropped by this little girl. Like, she's crushing it, seriously. I was trying to keep up. I can't. She's probably like 10.
As Paul and I got close to Mount Bachelor, we pulled over for a snack and a short trailside conk, only to be awakened by Garret.
I'll probably pancake this wheel today now. like I am shocked they held up.
Getting radical.
I really thought this was gonna blow out.
So, at this point, you've probably gathered that I'm doing this ride with my buddy Paul. We've done a handful of trips together, but nothing as big as this. He's a pretty avid mountain biker, and he's a much better rider than me. And throughout this whole trip, Paul's been so chill. No complaining, no drama. I'm really happy to be sharing this experience with him. Eventually, we catch up to Sarah.
Check it out, the crew's back together.
That's right.
Okay, act natural.
Out of all the riders that Paul and I would meet, we spent most of our time riding with Garret and Sarah. Sarah's from Marquette, Michigan. She's done a lot of bikepacking and touring. She's tough as hell. And if you get her fired up about something, she'll talk your ear off. Every time we're around Sarah, she's so cheerful and full of energy. She's the kind of person that would make friends with everyone at the party. Garrett's also from Michigan, Detroit. He's got a curious and adventurous spirit. He recently finished the Tour Divide in 2023, and for some reason, he thought it'd be a good idea to do the Timber Trail on a fully rigid drop bar bike. Amazing. Paul and I immediately got along with Garret. I think we all generally have the same temperament. We're not taking this bikepacking thing too seriously. Our 4-person crew would head up to the 3 Creek Lake store. The store is small, they didn't have much, but we got to meet Karen Love, the owner of the store. They had some leftover food, so her and her friends made us some hamburgers and gave us fresh watermelon. Thanks, Karen, and thanks to your friends. We really appreciated it.
All right, just made a huge descent out of the 3 Creek store. And now we're on some tarmac heading into Sisters. Be a little bit of single track on the Peterson Ridge Trail. You can just feel it's so much hotter out here, and it's pretty smoky. So yeah, but I think the rest of the ride into town should be pretty chill. All right, made it to Sisters with the crew.
All right, we're in Sisters at the campground in the park, and it's about 5:30. Gonna get packed up here and head into town, get some coffee at the coffee shop, some breakfast burritos, and then start heading out again. We'll get to the bypass today, where we have to hit the highway.
Okay, we are fed, have coffee. Now it's time to get back on the route.
By the way, if you're ever in Sisters, Sisters Coffee Company makes a damn good breakfast burrito. So you heard me mention a bypass. Chip put together a track that bypasses the Pyramid Fire. It would have us riding on 30 miles of highway. I was kind of dreading this. I hate highway riding. But Paul and I feel committed at this point. We're going to make it to Hood River, one way or the other. We'd be riding along Shuttle Lake today, an area that I've never explored.
All right, this morning we rode along the trail along Shuttle Lake. It was beautiful, even though it was kind of smoky. Now we're at this other lake, Scout Lake. And we're headed up this trail to, I think, another lake called Dark Lake. So lots of really pretty lakes out here.
Today's crux is probably getting through Sand Mountain, and as the name implies, there's a lot of sand, so it's slow going. But on the downhill sections, Paul and I had fun dirt surfing.
Alright, we just made it to the Fish Lake Guard Shelter. We're at this little picnic area. And we just did this super fun descent. Like, after Sand Mountain, after you just get your ass kicked going up that sand, and then you're kind of going down the sand, having a good time because you're like surfing a little bit. And then you hit this single track that's just so fast. And now we're about to embark on what's likely to be the worst part of this entire trip, which is our detour around that pyramid section. So we're gonna be riding on the highway. Headed up this Brighton Bush Road. There's no camping for the first 5 miles. First campsite's called Humbug Campground. So that's what we're aiming for right now. Nice. Good work, Paul. Big day, huh? Big day. 79.95 miles.
Yeah, we rode our bikes.
Yeah, 4,500 feet of ascent, 5,800 feet of descent. A lot of that was on that highway bypass, which actually I didn't think was that bad.
It wasn't that bad. No.
Good job, Paul.
Thanks, Chris. Good job.
Yeah.
Fun day.
Yep. It actually was a fun day. Yeah.
Look at how much Garret has. Look at this. What the heck?
It's overflowing.
Yeah, you need a van for this, dude.
I'm not really an ultralighter, it turns out.
Ultra heavy.
I've been living a lie my whole life.
So, it turns out Garret wasn't far behind us. He rolled into Humbug Camp about 30 minutes later and stayed with us last night. Today, we continue the hill climb we started yesterday. And historically, the route has traveled through this red lake and lodgepole single track, but the Lion's Head fire and the trail conditions made this unrideable. Therefore, today we travel along forest roads, leading us to Olali Lake.
Alright, made it to Meditation Point at Timothy Lake. Amazing that there's no one here at the campsite that's right at the end of the little peninsula here.
Most meditative spot, probably.
Oh, I'm gonna get so zen tonight, you guys.
More than enough for me.
Oh, yeah.
More than enough for me.
We awake to a moodier side of Timothy Lake. It's tranquil. Dramatic clouds blanket the horizon, and the lake fog dances on the water. We've reached the point in the trip where you know it's almost over, but you don't want it to end. Like, I almost wish I was pushing up EMZ again. We've got 2 days left, and today's gonna be tough. I'm trying to savor it.
We have left Timothy Lake, riding on some tarmac. It's been another revision to the route overnight. Actually yesterday, we're detouring Kingsley Reservoir because the fire crew is stationing out there to fight a fire that's a little bit east of Hood River. So that means, unfortunately, we don't get to ride Post Canyon down.
So, this is like Chip's 6th revision to the route. And for us, practically it's our 3rd meaningful bypass. First, Bunchgrass, then the pyramids, and now the Kingsley Reservoir detour. Which also means, unfortunately, we'll be skipping the Post Canyon single track.
Pack light, kids. Pack light.
With each of these detours, I'm thinking about the time and the energy that Chip puts into making sure riders have a safe route to Hood River. I had a chance to talk to him about it, actually, at the end of the route. He said he worried about all the riders. The terrain out here can be technical, and this year, a few riders scratched after taking bad falls. Add to that some extreme heat at the start of the route, the evolving fire situation. And yeah, I can understand why he'd worry. Even as I was riding, I was worried about the safety of other riders. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, thanks, Chip, for all the work that you put into being the race director this year. If everything goes according to plan, tomorrow will be our last day. And the rest of the day today, we'll be riding along premier single track, along Gunsight and Surveyor's Ridge, and then the Oakridge Trail.
Look at that, I went through all my travel. Garrett, how much travel did you go through?
Every last bit.
Oh, Jesus. Animal.
I went through a headset, probably.
Gunsight Ridge. A little bit dusty. Whoop. Oh God. Jesus.
Long stretches of remote single track like this in beautiful Oregon forest is what gives the Oregon Timber Trail its character.
Trying to go fast like Paul, and now my rack is totally broken. Uh-oh.
As we make our way out of the trees at the end of the Oakridge Trail, we get our first glimpses of the valley shrouded in smoke from the nearby fire.
Woo, nice work.
Oh my God. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life, was getting to this point.
All right, Oakridge Trailhead done. Now, Parkdale cruising.
Oh, I hope they...
Cheers, fellas. Good work today. That was a big day, huh?
It was a huge day. This is a huge 10 days. Oh yeah. Every day.
Every day.
Destroyed.
Yeah? Dude, you were pedaling hard. You were pedaling hard all day.
Yeah. Right until we got on that pavement.
All right, Garrett, last day. How do you feel?
Hungry.
Hungry.
Very
Okay.
hungry. Dirty.
Dirty. Yep.
But also a little sad.
Yeah.
Probably should have taken another week. I wouldn't be so hungry and dirty.
When you finish a route like this, you want it to feel triumphant. Like you put it out all on the table and overcame the odds. And as we start the highway detour in Hood River, I'm not feeling that way. It feels like I had to skip too much of the route. And as I finish making this video, I'm thinking about what Chip said when he met us on the Chuacan River on night 2. How it's about the people, and how he hopes that more riders can experience the Timber Trail.
All right, 281 South. Take me home.
With the Grand Depart, I was so lucky to be able to interact with so many other riders. You hear their stories and secondhand stories of other riders. Some leave you in disbelief, like Kyle, losing his handlebar bag on the middle fork of the Willamette, not realizing it for miles, then having to backtrack and search for his sleep kit. And other stories, they're just plain wild, like Justin Dubai, racing through the pyramid fires just as they're about to officially close the trail, then to look back and see the forest in flames. Stories like these and the shared experiences along this beautiful trail are what make it special. So this was my experience through my lens. The good, the bad,
Oh, we're getting soaked.
the disappointing. And like Chip, I hope more people get to make it out to the Oregon Timber Trail, to meet others, and create your own unique experiences along some of Oregon's most premier riding. And hey, maybe I'll see you there, because now I have some unfinished business.